Thank you, Elliot. You have really been a great friend to me and Louise, and to all of us in this hall. Thank you for being here tonight and for all you do for the U.S.-Israel relationship. Thank you. One of the great things about AIPAC is that it's like family. And like family, we learn from one another, strengthen one another, and enrich our work together. So, to my colleagues on the AIPAC Board of Directors, thank you for your friendship and support, and for your unparalleled devotion to this organization. To Michael Kasson and to Shelley, thank you for your friendship. Michael, you are a great mentor to me. You are a tremendous leader and have guided this organization with professionalism, courage, and conviction. We all thank you. To Lee, Rosie, Rosenberg, thank you for your leadership and devotion. AIPAC has reached new heights because of your energy and commitment. And to Howard Kaur and Richard Fishman, thank you for your dedication. Both of you and the entire AIPAC staff do an incredible job guiding our organization forward. To my family, my friends, and my community, especially my children, Sarah, Jake, and David, thank you for your never-ending enthusiasm and support. And most important, of course, to Louise, the girl I met as a teenager in summer camp. We traveled this road together. Thank you for all your love and support. Thanks. I also want to recognize and honor the life and memory of two former AIPAC National Board members who passed away this year. Bob Mazur and Gordy Zacks were great leaders, and they will never be forgotten. May their memory be for a blessing. I can only hope to live up to the example set by these amazing leaders and by my immediate predecessors. Ladies and gentlemen, look around this room. We are more than 14,000 strong and growing stronger by the day. But what makes this conference so impressive is not simply how many of us are here, but rather who is here. We are more politically, racially, and religiously diverse than ever before. There are more club members and AIPAC Partners for Tomorrow at this year's conference than ever before. And we are younger than ever before. So please join me in welcoming the more than 2,300 students at this year's conference, including 260 student government presidents from all 50 states. Students, let's hear you. Today, our organization is a cross-section of American society, joined together by a common cause and purpose: to keep our country strong and Israel secure. Our rapid growth showcases the size and strength of our organization. However, we must continue to grow in order to effectively navigate the escalating challenges facing America and Israel in the Middle East. Howard discussed the Iranian issue earlier this morning. Iran is the central concern for both nations and rightly commands our attention. Yet it is not the only issue that we are focused on. As we all know, Israel faces many threats and challenges in the region. The myriad of threats on Israel's borders underscores the importance of our work together. It highlights why U.S. security assistance that we lobby for is so essential. And it demonstrates the need for Congress to enhance the strategic partnership between America and Israel. Indeed, the partnership between the two allies is a cornerstone, a foundational building block that is vital for the national security of both countries. Tomorrow night, we will welcome a friend of AIPAC and the U.S.-Israel relationship in Secretary of State John Kerry. As pro-Israel Americans, we thank him for his personal investment of time, energy, and leadership to find a path toward peace between Israel and the Palestinians. Like all Americans, we pray for the day when Israel and her neighbors can live in security and in peace. For decades, we too have sought a better future for Israel and her neighbors. We have worked for the day when a Jewish state of Israel is living in peace and security with a non-militarized Palestinian state. But for far too long, peace has eluded Israel. Our community knows all too well that too many rockets have fallen, too many loved ones have been lost, and too much hate exists on Israel's borders. For Israel to overcome the horrors of terrorism and violence, it must have its security guaranteed based upon mutually agreed upon terms, not imposed solutions. That is where we play a constructive role. As the peace process continues, we believe it is important that the following long-standing principles guide American policy. 1, peace can be reached only through a mutually negotiated agreement, not an imposed solution. 2, America must vigorously oppose Palestinian efforts to win statehood outside of the negotiating process. 3, the Palestinians must publicly prepare their population to make the necessary compromises to reach an agreement with Israel. 4, America and Israel should work closely together. 5, we must encourage Arab states to play a supportive role in the talks. And finally, the U.S.-Israel relationship rests upon interests that transcend any single issue. Now, there is another challenge facing Israel that I want to discuss this afternoon. Having failed to defeat Israel on the battlefield, Israel's enemies are turning to the courtrooms, classrooms, and boardrooms to try to isolate and discriminate against Israel, to treat it differently than any other democracy through boycotts, divestment, and sanctions. They are trying to deny the very legitimacy of the Jewish state. It's an outrage. Well, we have an answer. We will fight exclusion with inclusion. The best way to counter these attacks is by helping expand Israel's commercial, scientific, and academic access in the United States and beyond. We will make sure that Israel plays its proper role as a sovereign state at the United Nations, including competing for a seat on the UN Security Council. And we will seek ways for American companies to expand their investments in Israel. As these groups seek to isolate Israel, we must be the strong counterbalance to ensure that the people of Israel will never be alone. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the bottom line. The dangers posed to America and Israel are increasing. The need for a strong U.S.-Israel alliance is increasing. And therefore, the importance of our work together is increasing. Indeed, we are the central address for strengthening the U.S.-Israel relationship. So how do we achieve this? We work with Congress to influence policy. By focusing on the policy and not the sound bites of the day, we remain a credible source of information for members of Congress and are able to dedicate our time and attention to the issues that matter. The House and Senate provide us the most effective channel to advocate for laws and positions that will strengthen America and help keep Israel secure. A foundational building block of that strategy is to ensure that legislation we support is bipartisan. Bipartisanship maximizes our effectiveness, no matter which party is in power in Congress or the White House. Our strategy sends a message to the world. America, all of America, stands with Israel. Indeed, bipartisanship is the most effective strategy to influence policy long-term. We create a broad spectrum where those on the liberal left and those on the conservative right are able to come together in support of this issue. The success of this strategy was on full display at the State of the Union address last month. Do you remember this? There were only two moments where the entire Congress stood and sustained their applause. One was when the President highlighted the heroism of American soldier Corey Remsburg. The other was when the President described Israel as a Jewish state that knows America will always be at its side. We cannot take for granted the meaning of that rousing ovation. That Israel is a consensus issue is a treasure that we must continually reinforce. Fewer and fewer issues have wide bipartisan support, but our strategy has helped keep Israel an issue that unifies those from both sides of the aisle. If support for Israel or the U.S.-Israel relationship is made into a partisan political football that is tossed back and forth with each election, we all lose. Our political diversity is our strength. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you. Your investment, your leadership, your commitment to pro-Israel politics, and your commitment to AIPAC have allowed us to build upon these principles and work with Congress to keep America strong and Israel secure. Each morning, I make my daily commute with nearly 1 million other New Yorkers through Grand Central Terminal. Unlike many Americans, I don't mind my commute. I love to watch the rush of people dashing to work, and I am still inspired by the majesty of Grand Central Terminal. I sit on the train, and I think how grateful I am to know where I'm headed. How grateful I am to have had people in my life, beginning with my parents, who helped give me a direction, a sense of belonging, and community. But most important, they gave me a foundation of principles so that wherever I'm headed in life, I carry those values with me. AIPAC is like that too. We all come from different places, and our life's journeys are taking us to a wide variety of destinations, often at a harried pace. But what makes our community so special is that we are linked by a shared set of principles which guide our work together. What makes us effective is that we are joined together in shared purpose to work for a day of peace and security for two great nations. Thank you very much.